This time on Roadworthy Rescues, this is a 1937 Chevy, and I don't know how to explain what's happening. This week on Roadworthy Rescues, we found this beautiful 1937 Chevrolet way up in middle Michigan. I'm gonna see if I can give this thing a new look, a new lease on life, and put it back on the road for the first time in 20 to 25 years. But first, let's walk around this thing and talk about what it is, why it is, and try to figure out a game plan for this thing. So this is a town sedan, and you could tell by, well, looking at it, but actually it's really confusing. In the 30s and early 40s, Chevrolet had so many different styles. I could tell this is a town sedan because of the trunk right away. Now we can go back up front really quick, look at the suspension, and we could tell if this is a Master solid axle front end or a Master Deluxe. 37 was the first year that they introduced the famous independent front suspension. Yep. So this is a Master Deluxe town sedan, which is the higher echelon or model. So far, the body's looking pretty good, but we'll see what we got going on. So one of the first things I noticed, the grille on this is actually pretty decent. Headlights are beautiful. Doors aren't that bad. This is also really common. All the moisture and pine needles and water and stuff come down these rear windows, and because of the shape, it all comes forward, sits right in the bottom here, and rots that out. The glass, slightly foggy. It looks like it's currently underwater, actually. That's kind of unique. And that brings us up to the power barn. Let's take a look in here. Should be a whopping 85 horsepower straight six in here. Oh yeah, there she is. I'll be dipped. She's been Craigslist rebuilt. Spray paint on everything. But I think we got completage in the engine bay, which is great. Should have a Carter single barrel on it, downdraft. It's gonna have a coil and point system, mechanical fuel pump, 6-volt, you know. Here's that trim tag here. You can see that it is in fact a 37 Master Deluxe. Who knows how many times it's had color green blasted on it. I'd say minimum of 2. Even the trim tag's been painted, you know. The good old boy we bought this from, I think he might have been farting around with a little bit, because I see some new trinkets here and there. It looks like some hose clampulators, some doodads, but we were told it's been off the road for a couple decades at least. Oh, here's ignition sticks. That's rare for us. All right, well, now that we got these, let's go get in the trunk, see what we got going on in there. I can't believe that trunk lock still works. Smells like a potato sack full of cigar boxes and a lot of regret. Appears to be the rear seats. A brand new spare tire. Doesn't even look like it's ever been used. And a pudding cup. Ooh, and a whole lot of flying creatures with stripes on them over here. That's fine. I guess we could jump inside, check out the interior or what's left of it. Oh, man. Oh, that's kind of weird. I'm getting a little bit more of like a blacksmith pine cabinet with a hint of basil smell up here. It's kind of nice. Anyway, it's showing 85 million miles. That seems to do stuff. Let's see what the brake pedal does. Oh, not only does it have pedal action, I heard juice move. Wouldn't that be great if we had brakes? This is a pretty neat old rig. It's probably more original than Warren G. Oh, the cowl vent flips up. You always gotta run with them up. Looks a lot better. Seats are darn near perfect. Here's all the, oh, look. There's the grill piece. Some vitamins. There's quite a few parts in here. All the chrome. Suspension is tight, as you can see. This thing's gonna handle really well. Okay, well, that's our 37 Chevy, I guess. Why weren't there more car wrecks back then? Doesn't make sense. So here's the plan. I think I'm just gonna try to get this thing running where it sits. And if it does, we're gonna drive it to a shop about 50 miles down the road here that we can utilize to work on this thing. Easy on the paint. Now we're gonna spin this thing over by hand, make sure it still rotates. That spins nice and easy. All right. Oh, yeah, they've got a Rochester on this guy. Not a Carter. Now I'm gonna put a battery in this thing. Yeah, get out of here. Okay, now for the new one. There we go. She crankalizes. Yes. Think by golly, it did pump some fuel. Oh, someone put some new sparkle parts in here. It's got spark. So I don't even need to test the coil or any of that stuff. I am gonna change this filter tray real quick because that looks pretty nasty. Okay, guess we can put some gas in now. Gasolina. So the tank's good, as far as I could tell, you know, so that's great news. I'm just gonna dump gas in there and we'll just see what the filter says to us up front. I already smell like burlap and it's not even noon. Filling the bowl up right now with some flammable liquids, the roadworthy way. There we go. I like to use pre-mixed fuel. This has a little bit of two-stroke oil in it. It's a lot easier on the engine with that extra lubrication in there for the pistons, cylinder walls, rings. And if it doesn't start, you lessen the chance of washing the rings down, which is something that can definitely happen if you're just cranking and cranking and cranking an old engine. And just a little splash. That was way too much. Perfect. Bring the thunder. It's been brought. It's pumping fuel. Wow, look at that. No choke or nothing. Look at that. It's a sewing machine. The oil pressure gauge works. 15 pounds, way more than enough, like 14 too many. It says it's charging. I don't think the temperature gauge works. That's okay, I forgive it. There we go. It's gotta warm up a little bit, but look at this. There's no rust or huge particles in the filter. We took a gamble on the fuel tank, but it might pay off. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Okay, it runs, it's alive, but doesn't run very well yet. Doesn't wanna rev up. Carburetor might need to be gone through. Timing is definitely off. Potentially have some water in the oil. It's looking a little bit not so goodish. Oh, it's water. I thought it might be fuel. So now I'm gonna add coolant, and we'll run it again. And if that line comes up past full, we know that the excess fluid is in fact coming from the rad. Hopefully it's just severely very bad oil, and we could just drop and change that. We're good to go. Probably not. Okay. Be really cool if we got this running though. This would be the second oldest vehicle other than the Motor City Model A. Well, there's water just pouring out of the water pump. But to replace that in any sort of productive manner, all of everything that you see has to come out. Oh yeah, about 236 degrees by the 3rd degree burn on my left hand. So I'm gonna jack up the front end, get the tires and wheels off because I need to get my body dangerously wrapped inside of the wheel well while teetering on a jack. I can try to pull the rad and the body panel one big chunk. Then I can gain easy access to the water pump because these old cars, they never really had shrouds. So the fan is like 1/4 of an inch to the rad, and they're really, really difficult to work on, especially when you're, you know, a Sasquatch. Okay, let's just be really, really gentle. I mean, everything's fine. Just relax. All right, stay one. Oh, brake line's been replaced. No wonder they had juice pipes working. Look at how many times I went to church, 74 weddings. Well, probably a whole bunch of booze runs, legal and illegal. Okay, clean this up, gasket, new pump. Continue our day. Karate. Okay, that's that. This time we'll see if it stays in the engine. All of that work was just to replace the water pump. So that's fine. We're off to a really good start. Hats. Water, oil, come on out. You know, and then we'll put some like used 30 weight in here or something. Something that's good for flat tapping cams, got all the vitamins and minerals. Zinc and phosphorus, mainly. Dinosaur juice is what I'm talking about. Doesn't need to be anything fancy. Think about oil in 1937. They were probably literally just shoveling it out of the ground. So, oh, there's a better look at the water oil. Kind of looks like baby poop, if I'm being honest. Right now I'm gonna tear this apart and do a quick little dirty rebuild on it. I need an accelerator pump if I'm gonna try to drive this thing. So when you mash the gas, well, it's like, there's a little shot of fuel that comes in right away initially to help the engine with the additional airflow and everything like that. This doesn't have that, so it wants to stall every time you hit the throttle. Not ideal, bad. We got about 50 some miles-ish to get to the shop, so I'm gonna just blow this apart. I got a cheap little rebuild kit here. So hopefully we hit the key, it fires back up for the 59th time. We can see that it's running better, we can check the cooling system one more time, and then we are ever so close to jamming this thing on the highway. Oh yeah, it's running way smoother. So you can actually rev it up now. Well, suppose the guy should check on the clutch. I like how the flywheel is open and the clutch is just winging away right here. That seems like the clutch. Oh, B. She's good to go. That's how you know a lady drove the car. Lipstick mirror on the driver's side. Well, as you can see, I kind of only got a porthole in here. So I'm gonna try to just take the windshield out, it's 2 pieces, and then put nothing back. Be careful not to bend this. the mouse smell is getting really thick in here. I regret that decision. Wow, it's pretty solid, actually. Now I ruined the glass. Periodic glass, I'll take it out. Nothing's going back in. Should have taped that together first. All the 90-year-old water in between the panes of glass. No. Nope. Oh boy. This is how I get hantavirus and die, right here. Oof. Found the seats. Oh gosh. I might need a mask for the first 50 miles. Listen, I've been doing this a long time, and I have dug some cars out, but this thing is terrible. I also have 2 right-hand gloves. So I was just gonna go down the road like this, but this is gonna keep flappalizing and dropping mouse nests and everything else on me. So I've decided to go ahead and drop the whole headliner right now. Oh, remember how I said it'd be cool to do a pre-war car? It's really cool. Oh, that was a skeleton. That's all mouse poop. All right, let's go. Well, we're up here in Michigan where we picked up this 37 Chevy Master Deluxe. It's not very mastery right now, though. It needs a lot of work. I think I got it patched up good enough to potentially hit the road. We're gonna attempt to make about a 50-mile journey. We're gonna leave the backyard here and try to go over to a shop that we have access to so we can continue working on this old Chevy. We just gotta hope that the rear end works and the wheel bearings and more than one gear and brakes. It's fine. Third, there are a lot of stuff blowing. It's kind of like riding a motorcycle, but significantly worse. Oh, whoa, whoa. Rears feel a little low. Also, they're only, inch and a quarter wide. That doesn't really help us. Boy, she gets to wandering like they're pulling a trailer loaded wrong. Takes a minute to get her under control. Check my rear view. Oh yeah, I got a truck right behind me. Uh-oh. I'm turning to the right. I don't think you can hear me. Oh, got me a backfire. Oh. Oh, the seats are, it's like going up my back. Oh, I need to take a shower and brake clean. I just realized when the engine overheats and the radiator cap explodes off, boiling water comes shooting out, I have no shield other than my face. So that's pretty good. It's a really immersive experience. Not having a windshield. Not only do you know what season it is based on the insects hitting you, but also the smell of various fertilizers and tire piles burning, things of that nature. Oh, they got cattle, see? Ah! Boy, that independent front suspension is independent. We are losing a little bit of oil pressure. That's probably good enough. Oh, air cleaner's about to fall off. Oh, in my hat. Dang it. Almost lost my forehead on me. Need something to... I forgot to put the wing nut on here, see? I got a couple treads on there. Should be okay. Well, we about have 10 miles left in our journey, and we'll have made it to the shop. First big journey down for this car. We're getting so close. Ride's pretty good for being 86 years old or whatever. It's really not that bad. So we're just pulling into the shop. I can't believe we actually made it, but we're here. I have digested so many different items, it's not even funny. I guess free supper. But now we can actually get to work on this thing. Well, it's day 2 here up in Michigan with our 1937 Mouse Deluxe Town Sedan. I have the ultimate goal of driving this thing through the back roads all the way to Detroit, and while we're there, driving around and looking at some historic stuff. But as you can see, it still needs a tremendous amount of work. I slept on it. Still don't have a plan. But I think the obvious thing is this needs to be cleaned out. It is full of parts and pieces and metal and boards and Tupperware. I'm not even sure. So I'm gonna dig everything out, spread it out on the floor, see what parts can go back on the car, and then formulate some kind of plan. I got just a couple days to make this thing better and roadworthy. Mask, gloves, dig in. Yeah, if you squint, it's pretty mint. Old rad, I would assume, is bad. Pretty obvious what that is. Ooga ooga. But it might be the original Carter. Needs idle screw. I think this is a swap meet box. More horse vitamins. That's pipe tobacco. No, that's not what it is. Chevrolet! Man. How does this guy take so many vitamins? Hey, the hunk of floor that's missing. This I actually need, because right now, the foot remover 900 is just whirling right here. Aha! Back to 3 pedals. All right, the interior is perfectly clean now. It's still very not good in here. Attempting to neutralize some of the smell. Used some bleach, some tire cleaner, and that helped a little, but whew, I gotta take a break, I can't breathe. So guys trying to plan ahead. I'm still working on the interior, but we're gonna have to do something for tires and, well, wheels, essentially. These are really old Firestones, and I honestly cannot believe we made it back on these. That was something else. Old bias plies. Thankfully, they have a really tough sidewall. Now, could we do some fancy wheels? Maybe. But one thing that's holding us back from doing something pretty wild is this independent front suspension. It has this huge knee system in here. And in today's dollars, Chevrolet spent over $430 million developing the 37 Chevy. I think we gotta leave this alone. We don't wanna put a straight axle or anything like that. So it kind of limits what we're gonna do. Now, I don't mind this at all. I mean, it's a fairly original car. I think we're gonna bust this rubber off. We're gonna go ahead and do some rattle can restorations on these, put the original caps back on and call it good. Now, when it comes to the tire, we'll find another 16, but maybe a little bit wider if we can. This one's a little bit sketchy, and of course, we'll go to a radial of some kind. Yeah. So a minute ago, I was talking about, you know, we're gonna have to redo the interior in here. And by redo, I'm gonna do the right thing and just patch this up with some foam from a hardware store and throw a blanket on it from a truck stop. That should be plenty fine. It's cleaned out, it's still very smelly. It's probably the seat, so we're just gonna kind of wrap it up if we can. Almost basically entomb it, encase it. Listen, is it a dumb idea if it works? That's all I'm saying. Look at that. It's coming undone, isn't it? I can hear it. Brand new. Lost the receipts. And done. So now we're in phase 2 of reconstruction. We're gonna glue this blanket on so it doesn't walk around on us, you know? It's like putting hairspray on in the 80s. Boy, it is very confusing to smell in here. Yeah, I do, however, feel like I could sit on this now without puking in my mouth 4 times. $9. Back on the 37 Chevy, our punch list is getting shorter, but there are some big tasks on this one, namely the glass. We're waiting for some glass experts to show up that have done this before. Meanwhile, I'm gonna work on things like temp gauge. I got some headlights, some wiring. I'm gonna change the oil again, put a heavier mixture in. That ought to fix the bearings in this thing. And start prepping for the biggest project, which is doing something with the paint on this. It's gonna be a fun day. Got blinkers. No, it's just me. Look at that. One truck stop door panel. Looking snazzy. So this is Derek and Mike from Brandon Rotary Glass, and they were the lucky ones to say yes. We will help. So I'm glad to have these guys here. It's like I said, it's a big project. It's just a lot of figuring things out and figuring out how they made it in 1937 and rebuilding it. So
yep, we're here for the haul.
Do what you got to do.
All right, thank you. Pulling this up. There we go. Just send it, Mike. Push it. Smells like vinegar. Just giving it some heat. This adhesive in here is really old and hard, and it should allow us to cut it freely. Yeah, cool. That hit like a damn smelling salt.
It does smell like a smelling salt.
So we're digging through all the glass pieces here. They came in one big box and started looking at some of the markings just out of curiosity. And crazy enough, this piece here looks like it was made in 1964 and has just been sitting since. It's wild, still in beautiful shape, obviously, but apparently not a big demand for 37 back glass. The whole kit was only $400 and change. It's pretty unbelievable. This is the temperature gauge. Unfortunately, the one in the dash is shot. She's toes up in the daisy. Let me take a look at you. Why are you so violent? It's coolant in there. No. This was the Arizona option. Pretty rare, but they're out there. For $9, not shabby. Not shabby at all.
At it. Yeah, over.
We lost our AC, but we gained a bug shield, so I'll take it. We have glass, and it looks fantastic. Thank you, guys. I know you worked hard for it. It looks great.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Appreciate it very much.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
It's a good time. It's a good learning experience.
Would you do another?
I think so. Yeah, especially for you guys. So
Nice.
It's a new design to us. I mean, obviously it's a really old design, but it's new to us, and you know, we'll probably see more in the future sometime, and it'll.
Cool, man. Well, thank you. Appreciate it very much.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
I didn't see hood removal in the handbook. It's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, I see. This is why I don't like painted cars. Ouch! What in the devil? I mean, it's pretty good. Nope, not even close. Whoever designed this didn't like America. That's all I can tell you. So Jim, the guy we bought this car from, happened to have this nice stainless piece, hard to find, and he just gave it to us with the car. Now I'm doing my best not to bend it up and install it incorrectly. Sweet. Does look good, though. But now that the glass is done, you can see the list has shrunk quite a bit. But we've got our biggest job yet up next. That's the wash and scrub. We're gonna take Scotch-Brite pads, Brillo pads, anything abrasive we can find, and scrub this thing down with the goal of getting all the loose, flaking paint off and smoothing it out as much as possible, because we're gonna be clear coating this thing with the Vice Grip Garage Gloss Clear Coat. So all of the imperfections is really gonna pop. It's gonna seal everything up and it's gonna look great. Almost 100 years it took to look like this. So we're gonna wrap her up. Got her pulled into the bake booth. What you want to do is paint your vehicles in a sterile environment where you don't have a bunch of bugs and wind and dirt and dust flying. And also the direct sunlight's a no-go. So I'm going to do all of that and just let her rip. Geez, it looks good. Just 3 days ago, we picked up the Mouse sedan somewhere in central Michigan. It's a 1937 Chevrolet town sedan, and luckily someone had already put some love into the thing when we bought it. So we were able to get this thing running and back on the road after a couple decades, over to the shop here where we continued to tear into this thing. Now, one of the bigger projects was just emptying this thing out. It was absolutely full of miscellaneous parts and broken pieces and objects. And let's not forget the 97 pounds of mouse nests. Well, I'm talking full condominiums in there. It was huge. The smell, kind of slightly better. Finished off the interior with just a low buck blanket overhaul, pretty much. Painted the floor, put some original floor pieces back in, and just cleaned it up. And hey, it looks really good. Let's not forget, put all new glass in this thing. Lost my AC, but I don't gotta pick bugs out my teeth. The wheels, we stayed with the original. We just, well, powder coated them. By that, I mean spray paint. You know what I mean? Put some trim rings on them and some El Cheapo tires. That's good enough there. The engine, again, already had some work. All I did was sparkulators, a little bit of an ignition tune-up on the thing. It needed a water pump, belt, a carburetor rebuild, some basic wiring, and that's really all the engine needed. The cherry on top is the paint on this thing. We scuffed it up, cleaned it, and put some urethane clear coat on this thing. And man, talk about character. This thing looks absolutely amazing. Now my favorite part. We're gonna be winding through the back roads of Michigan and work our way towards Detroit. Hopefully we can get there. It's about 100 miles. Let's go cruise this thing. Oh my gosh, that's pretty excessive. The white smoke that has a sweet smell, yeah, that's antifreeze or coolant. So we're burning that in the combustion chamber, and that is not supposed to be happening. Most common cause, failed head gasket. Most common fix on this show, head gasket in a bottle. We'll go ahead and pour that in, pretend this didn't happen, and we'll just hit the road, see how far we can get. What's the worst that can happen? Hitchhike? Fixed. This is gonna be an awesome cruise. Got a route planned to follow the river, go through or around a couple small towns, and then see some really cool stuff. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Roads are really good. I feel like I need a mouth guard in here. Moses. Holy smokes. Knock the new glass out of this thing. Maybe the 01 Connies aren't that good of a cruising tire. Hard to say. I mean, it handles like a Bugatti, basically. Oh, whoa. That's, yeah, maybe not. The plume of white smoke is incrementally decreasing. That's a good sign. Head gaskets in a bottle! To the rescue. This thing shifts like butter. Once you figure out the rev match. Pretty sure the state bird in Michigan is a pothole. I've never seen anything like this. Just heard hardware falling off or something. When this independent suspension hits the potholes and stuff, it just starts bouncing like a basketball. It gets into like a death wobble. Jesus. It feels like I'm in a spin cycle right now. Vaseline, corn slicking. If we make it back home, we can say we drove to hell and back. Okay, gonna throw some groceries down the app, stretch the old earth pounders. We are in Hell, Michigan. It's a real place. It's kind of nice, actually. Bloody Mary bar. Well, we're making our way east. We just had a beautiful drive. We're on the other side of Ann Arbor right now. Still holding that 200. That's a good sign. Oh, it's peaceful on this road. There's a storm coming in, by the way. I'm trying to beat it. It's supposed to have grapefruit, or no, lemon-sized hail. We got some low pressure, some colder winds. You gotta pay attention to the leaves. The Hudson River, named after the Charles Hudson hot dog eating contest. I don't think that's actually accurate, but. Probably snot in my beard, but that's all right. Let me break this down for you. I'm gonna shoot you some factoids. Chevrolet produced well over 800,000 of these here vehicles. And they did it all over the world at that time. You gotta remember the Great Depression and the recession and the war was coming unknowingly. It was a weird time, and a lot of these automobiles were sent to Japan in what's called knockdown kits. Basically, adult-sized Legos. And a factory in Japan was building these here beautiful 37 Chevrolets. Factory down the road was building some beautiful Ford vehicles until the government said, wait a minute, why are we making cars for Americans? Lo and behold, they reverse engineered the 37 Chevrolet, and bam, the Toyota AA was born. Yep, that's right. Chevrolet, in a sense, birthed Toyota. And if you look at a Toyota AA, wow, it looks just like a 37 Chevy. Huh. Weird. Dolly Parton refused to sell I Will Always Love You to King of Rock and Roll. Do you know that? She also lost a Dolly Parton lookalike contest. Ah! Almost died. Oh, come on. I could see Detroit off in the distance, straight ahead. I think it's safe to say we've officially made it. Wonder how many cajillions of people went through that train station. That was the thing back in the day. Come in by rail car, visit Detroit. Well, you had to be a whippersnapper back in the day to handle these bad boys out here. Beanie Baby. I'm on a train track. I don't think this is right. If you're wondering why Detroit, why did it become Motor City? Why did everybody move here to build automobiles? Well, there was a few things that played into that. One of the biggest influences was the waterways and the railroad, which ironically we're driving on right now, essentially. It was easiest to get cars to Chicago and New York from here. And then, of course, you had heavy influences like Henry Ford living here, Ransom Olds living here, and this is where they designed and built their automobiles, and they weren't alone. Chevrolet started right here in Detroit, November 3rd, 1911. So this is where it all started, right here. We just beat this storm, but now it's starting to come in. But hey, we made it. I think all in all, we put about 150 miles on this car after it sat for 20 plus years. It's pretty incredible. We're gonna get a closer look at the Rens end. We're barely making it. We made it. GM World Headquarters. I'm shutting it off. Yes. Well, that's gonna do it for this episode of Roadworthy Rescues, but stay tuned. There's plenty more to save. Oh, it is boiling a little water, actually. I wonder if I can get a new radiator here.